And I think the first part of this issue that should be articulated is AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's, first of all, it's 2 letters. It means artificial intelligence.
Joining me now, somebody who probably, I can never guess, but probably knows a little bit more about AI than Dome does. Joe Allen, he's the author of the book Dark Aeon, Transhumanism and the War Against Humanity, which is out today. Okay, Joe, well, we don't have to get into Dome's explanation. Would you, first of all, for those of us who are old, explain what transhumanism even means? What is this fancy college term?
Well, Jesse, I think you need to think about the changes that have happened in just the recent past technologically. Think about trans children. Think about smartphone children. Think about autonomous weapons such as drone swarms. Think about just the power the internet has had over political movements. That's been a sweeping change in the last 2 decades. Transhumanism is the desire to accelerate that change, and accelerate that change to the point that human beings aren't just dependent upon machines. The human beings have actually fused with their machines, quite literally, including anticipated anyway, brain implants to connect one's mind to artificial intelligence. It sounds very sci-fi, not unlike a World Wide Web sounded sci-fi in the 60s when that project began. I wrote the book to really map out the ways in which this belief system has come to occupy not only the most powerful militaries on Earth, including our own, especially funding through DARPA, but also the most powerful corporations on Earth, including especially Google. And your listeners will probably recall that the wealthiest man on Earth, Elon Musk, is working not only on an artificial intelligence system that he anticipates to be superhuman at XAI, but also a brain implant, Neuralink, to link one's mind to that AI.
Okay, I'm 42 going on 82. This is so far beyond me, Joe, that I want you to keep going and explain this to me. How far away are we talking about when it comes to this kind of technology here? Brain implants that are communicating with AI? Surely you're talking about 500 years from now, right?
Well, Elon Musk anticipates 5 to 10, but he's always known for overselling. One thing that I think Elon Musk gets quite right is that we are already cyborgs. This is something he's repeated many times. Transhumanists talk about this all the time. The radical changes that have taken place, not only socially, but psychologically, due to the ever-present smartphone, and people have basically melded their lives to that smartphone. They see that as a stepping stone on the way to, first, non-invasive brain-computer interfaces. These are regularly used, by the way, just skull caps reading the brain. These are regularly used in, say, cognitive therapy. Even in video gaming, NextMind has a commercial non-invasive brain-computer interface. But when you're talking about actual brain implants, a lot of people are surprised to learn that there are already implanted brain-computer interfaces that allow locked-in, paralyzed patients to move cursors on screens, to actually, now they can type words. They simply think words, and it goes through the electrode into the computer and types out the words, and also to control robotic limbs. Neuralink is just getting started. They just got FDA approval, so they'll have human patients very, very soon. But BlackRock Neurotech, funded by Peter Thiel, hit the 50-patient mark just this year. And then another smaller company, Synchron, whose CEO, Tom Oxley, speaks a lot like Elon Musk on this. He doesn't see it just for locked-in paralyzed patients, of which they have around a dozen who are troded up with brain-computer interfaces. He sees it as being a future commercial product so that human beings, in his instance, can share their emotions electronically. For Musk, it's more of an intellectual endeavor. How do you keep pace with artificial intelligence as it blows past humans? That is the central mythos to transhumanism. that artificial intelligence and all of these technologies, artificial intelligence, robotics, brain-computer interfaces, genetic engineering, that all of these technologies are going to draw human beings up to the next level. In essence, to make human beings like gods. This is how they speak of it oftentimes. This is how it's spoken of among the critics. And I think that people, if they do not wrap their heads around this ideology, this notion that human beings are to be saved by technology, that technology will in fact be the highest power in the universe, that they're going to be in for a lot of surprises, even if the tech stagnates. What you see at the World Economic Forum, again, what you see at Google, what you see at Meta, what you see at OpenAI and Microsoft, what you see in academia from Oxford to MIT to Harvard, and of course, what you see among the real cutting edge scientists at DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency at the U.S. Department of Defense, and other military scientists across the U.S. military. All of them are voicing this viewpoint, this mythos, that the future of humanity is to merge with the machine. And as if it wasn't creepy enough that they would want to kind of draw consenting adults into this, the mass rollout of one-on-one AI tutors, I think will have a profound transformative effect on those students who actually adopt it, of which I anticipate it to be many millions, as it's being pushed by Bill Gates or Khan Academy. Both of them are doing this. What you're talking about is taking away that transmission of culture from a wise adult, presumably a knowledgeable adult, guiding a child or children through their lessons into something like intellectual maturity. And you are transforming that process into one in which a child simply learns from a machine. A child becomes conditioned and dependent. And eventually, you could say that without a brain interface, there is a sort of human AI symbiosis, a sort of relationship in which without that computer, the child is somehow naked, or the child is somehow unarmed, unable to think normally. Now, if you've known any children who are already completely addicted and attached to their smartphones, you know that this process really is already underway. And so there's 2 or 3 different options from here, but unless you think that this is it, that we've capped out, that the technology will go no further, I think that the viewpoints of transhumanists, even if you reject what they want entirely, have to be taken seriously, because these technologies do appear to be converging and rocketing ahead.
You want to watch our special on George Washington? It's freaking awesome. Well, you can. All you have to do is become a First TV supporter. That gives you access to all of our specials on demand, and it's cake. All you have to go to is thefirsttv.com/support. Thefirsttv.com/support. Become a supporter. Enjoy learning about George Washington.